Smugglers always like to use Hope-Tech ships to resemble legitimate transports. I wonder how the company feels about that.
It is.
Howdy.
Excuse me. A little desperate here.
A fair amount of business runs through Hope
All right,
Town,
Adela.
and from what I understand,
breath.
most of it is legal.
Oh, God. I'm just great. Grand, really. When I signed on to be a freight captain, I was expecting long hours and dull routes. And now I'm a hair away from being executed. Or worse. You are sincerely the answer to my prayers. So, I fly a rust bucket called the Markab for a small shipping line. It just started, really. We do bulk shipping, boring stuff like actuators and seed stock and minerals. Have you ever had a standard, boring job just blow up in your face? You get it, then. So, I just got assigned to the Markab. The first shipment? Slag steel. Nothing special. As soon as I left Neon and got scanned, things got crazy. Spacers, Freestar security, the works. Everyone demanding I power down, hand over the contraband, or sometimes just firing first. I skipped the system, ditched the cargo, and have been running ever since. I don't know. I was just flying for my life. But some bad people want it. It gets even worse. A tracker just landed and I just know he's hunting a bounty. Me. But the trick is, everyone knows the ship. But my info isn't in the database yet. All they got is my last name, Fahim. So if you go into the pit stop and claim you're Captain Fahim of the Markab, maybe you can deal with the tracker? Listen, I just haul, well, garbage. But you, I mean, you're armed and look, well, awesome. I figure you could do a solid for the little guy, girl. Plus credits. I did mention the credits, right? The company is, well, a real train wreck. I'm amazed they even have my last name on file. For once, working for such a dump is a good thing. I don't know. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but he may not give you any choice. You are the best! This slate has everything they know about me. It's not much. He's the one with the cowboy hat. Just stay safe. Thank you.
You made it. Those outlaws didn't give you too much trouble, I trust? I can walk, talk, and breathe without too much pain. That's good enough for me. Good. I'm sure it didn't hurt that I softened him up for you. You've got good timing. A courier just came in from Aquila. The Marshal sends his regards along with a briefing on your case. I was surprised as hell to learn about the starship theft. Nobody said a word to me about it. Anyway, Mr. Hope can see us whenever you're ready. If you need to take a little time first, feel free. No, and I can't get answers as to why not. I'm sure Mr. Hope has his reasons. His office is upstairs. He's in a meeting, but it should be wrapping up. Come on.
I have never liked Hope-Tech ships, though I suppose that is hardly the point of them.
He's on the Council of Governors. The Council oversees the Freestar Rangers, so don't rush. I've spent a long time trying to build a good relationship with Hope. He comes on a little strong, but there's a lot to admire about the man.
Offworlders. Nothing
Everything you
good
see
ever
around
comes
you,
from
he
them.
built. Pretty much everyone in this town owes him for their livelihood. Can't begin to imagine the kind of pressure that must put on someone. All I'm saying is, try to show a little respect. All the way up. Is it just me, or does every executive in the settled systems have an office on the top floor? I guess being above everyone makes them feel like
Enjoy
they're,
your visit to
well,
Hope Tech.
above everyone.
Just 3 more to go until break.
As with parts. Do a contract with scavengers, maybe, but that's a decision that's got to be made upstairs.
Talk to Elaine about the scavengers. It's not a bad idea, provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal. I mean a good deal. Remember, it's not just our bottom line that matters. We're also responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory. We look out for our people here, Burchett. That's a point of great personal pride.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Well now, the Free Star Rangers. At last! Damn good to see you, Mia. I think we're done here, Burchett.
Yes, sir.
This is the deputy I told you about.
Splendid. Splendid! It's a noble calling, being a Free Star Ranger. We certainly could use more of you. Let's get down to it, shall we? Time is money. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen right out of the factory. Justice must be done, and the sooner the better. That's good news. I'll send my people over to bring it home. Of course, that doesn't mean your work is done. I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of my position on the Council of Governors. Then, I trust that you know what I expect of you. Now, tell me that you've at least got a lead of some kind. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Sadly, there's no lack of mercenaries in the settled systems. I suppose the chance to cut costs by stealing a ship was too good to pass up. Well, I'm not sure I can be much help, but I'll answer whatever questions I can. Because I told them not to. If word got out, it would do irreparable harm to our image. I'm in fierce competition with other starship manufacturers. Any sign of weakness could be fatal. What's more, every starship thief in the settled systems would likely flock to Hopetown and start planning the next heist. What? Nonsense! We vet our people thoroughly here. HopeTech holds its employees to the very highest standards. Nevertheless, I suppose I could have Cosette conduct a thorough personnel review. Rest assured, if we turn up any evidence that one of our people was an accomplice, I'll let you know. We questioned everyone who was in the building when it happened, and not one person seems to have seen anything at all. Frankly, I think that's both highly unlikely and more than a little suspicious. However, I can't deny there are times when the hangar is empty, so it's not inconceivable the thief could have slipped in unseen. No, nothing at all. It was just a standard HopeTech cargo hauler. Not that it didn't have great value, mind you. HopeTech builds some of the most durable and reliable starships in the settled systems. Now, you can bet my ships last twice as long as anything Stroud Eklund makes. Very well. I need you to understand something, Deputy. This town is home to men, women, and children who depend on HopeTech for a living. I provide jobs that put food on their tables and a roof over their heads. It's a responsibility that I take very seriously. If word gets out about the stolen ship, my investors will lose trust, and my workers will pay the price. I can't allow that.
If more people know about the theft, your chances of learning something useful will improve. Someone might have seen the thief and could identify them.
I considered that, but in the end, I deemed it too great a risk. I've chosen to place my faith in the Freestar Rangers instead. I hope so.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hope, but there's been a development.
Not now, Cosette. I'm in the middle of something.
But sir, we have new information. I've just received a report that the stolen ship was seen landing at Neon just after the theft.
A breakthrough at last. Well, Deputy, it sounds like you'll be heading to Neon, which means I can get back to work. Remember what we discussed. My people are depending on you.
Hey, can I get a word?
Just keep it holstered, and we'll get along fine.
That wasn't as helpful as it could have been. Still, at least you know where to pick up the trail. Yeah, me too. So, guess you're headed for Neon. There's a ranger stationed there. Name's Jalen Price. He's a little different than the rest of us. But Neon's a different kind of place. Well, we could talk for an hour about that. The short version would be that crime, law, and justice don't exactly mean the same things there. The badge doesn't carry the same weight on Neon, so you might have to get creative. He's what I'd call a pragmatist. He sees things for what they are. He's also well-connected, which means a lot on Neon. You should listen to what he tells you. It'll keep you out of trouble. He should be able to help you out. Well, we've both got work to do. It was good to meet you, Deputy. Thanks again for helping me out up there. I'll be taking it easy for a couple of days. Need time to heal up. Then, I need to get back up there and keep an eye out for more pirates. I'm hoping to track one of their ships so I can find their hideout. Guess we could both use a little luck, huh? No problem. Good luck on Neon, Deputy.
If you'll excuse me, I am on duty. Mr. Hope is a vital part of not only Polvo, but of the entire Freestar Collective. Sorry, I can't talk now. Where Mr. Hope goes, I go. Enjoy your visit to HopeTech. If you'll excuse me, I am on duty. Mr. Hope is a vital part of not only Polvo, but of the entire Freestar Collective.
I fear for whoever gets between a ranger and their quarry.
Hey, Doc, we got a problem with one of the ships on the line.
Oh? What is it?
As dives go, this place ain't bad. I'm new in town. You look like you just got here too, right? What's your name, stranger? Might buy you a drink. Friends call me Ernesto. Actually, everyone does. Because it's my name and all. And you? A little of this, a little of that. I like to keep busy. Fahim, huh? Came in on that ship, the Markup? I bet you didn't know it. But I'm a tracker. And I'm here for your bounty. Two ways this can go. You know the drill. I don't deal with smugglers and no good types. Well, I do, but more violent-like. My word's my bond. Looks like a place that doesn't mind some color. Or you can surrender. I trank you up, deliver you, they kill you. Nobody ever picks that option. Bounty says you made off with a haul of medical supplies, meant for orphans, or something. I get a bonus if I turn the shipment in sight unseen. I figure they're in the markup. So you didn't shoot your way off Neon, Fahim? The bounty is pretty damn clear. But something don't sit right with me. Not sure what. Maybe. Maybe not. People do say that about me. It's not easy. But I don't kill people that don't need killing. I like to think so. All right, I'm not taking you in. But that just means somebody else will. Whatever you were shipping, you got to return it. The next tracker probably won't be as upstanding as I am. There's no way they're ever going to settle for that. Ah, sucks to be you. One more drink and it's liftoff.
If you need anything, just ask for me. It's Al. Looks like another newcomer. Welcome to the pit stop. We have a little bit of everything. What, brings you to Hopetown? Just once I want to hear someone's here for a honeymoon or for the annual Ice Night drinking competition. A word of warning, it can get a little rowdy here. Keep your gun holstered and there won't be any problems. Hardly. A lot of my patrons just got done with a shift. Throw some of the hard stuff in there, well, fists may fly. But they're good people, so please, don't hurt them too bad. Well, you just became my favorite customer. You need anything? We got more than booze here. People like to grouse, but truth is, Hopetown's the brightest spot on this planet. Deep down, all of us are beyond grateful to Mr. Hope. But the workers work hard and play hard too, so it's best not to drop your guard. Most people come from hard work on the farms, and Hope Tech is light years better than that. But it could be better. Anytime people start getting upset, Hope Tech changes things. But it seems to me they're just doing the bare minimum to keep the workers happy.
Polvo?
There was a deep hauler, said she picked up some sort of distress call in the Charybdis system. Responding to distress calls can be quite lucrative if your ship can handle itself.
Front and center.
No, it's been pretty boring around here. There's almost always a few visitors here for Hope Tech. But mainly, it's all us locals trying to get by.
Plenty of spare rooms available. How long will you be staying? It ain't fancy, but it's clean. Enjoy.
Sausage. Listen, you're fresh from the farm? Your eyes. It's not much better. It's better.
Come on. There are worlds to conquer. Indeed I do. All yours.
Do you
Any
require
adventure
my
you can
assistance?
fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
Pressure holding. Takeoff looks good. Retros firing. Orbit stabilized.
Hail received. Something wrong. Let me just get my ledger.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Why did I ever take this job? Why? I feel sick. I mean, maybe. At my 6th birthday, the theme was unicorns. Sorry, bad joke. Since the tracker's on World, I'm sure he's got eyes on the Mark Hub. It's just too dangerous. I feel like I can finally breathe again. Thank you. I'm gonna try very hard to disappear. Yes! I don't mean to be ungrateful and all, but I really, really need to go. Thank you.
Yes? That is all? Very well. I went through a brief period where I thought it might be exciting to be a professional Ash the Hunter. A very, very brief period. It's true. My husband runs one of the most successful businesses in the Freestar Collective. But I still think we can do better.
If you're here for Weston, he's underfoot somewhere. Either here or at the factory. But please, if it's about that brewing nonsense, kindly leave. They don't need any more encouragement. Dear me, no, Weston's a fine man. If anything, that's why I want more from him. He could do even greater things, if only he could see that. I'm not some stuck-up teetotaler. My problem with the business is more nuanced. Weston, that's my husband. Well, he's never been what I'd call a dreamer or a visionary. He's a practical man, good with ledgers and numbers. His brother Henry's the creative one, but he seems to have lost interest in growing the company and now all he wants to do is brew beer. Filburn agricultural systems could provide the whole of the settled systems with food, not just Aquila City. Seems those two are content to think small. I mean, you're right, of course. But with a little more hard work, so much good can be done. Well, you didn't come here to hear me natter on. Anything else? Well, no, not as such. I mean, the business is doing just fine, but it could be doing even better. Those knuckleheads have so much God-given talent, and I just wish they used it better. And try to come between Weston and his brother? They'd never allow it. Oh, I've tried to drop hints and make suggestions, but it all falls on deaf ears. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, of course. The company's healthy, and Weston and I live well enough. I'd like to help, you know? I'd like to be a part of things instead of feeling like I'm playing second fiddle. I suppose I should just accept my lot and try to find peace with it. Well, there is. The stakes are huge. With further R&D on IntelliWheat, the entire settled systems could benefit. Surely that's worth some less than savory solutions. Right now, it's tailored to Aquila's biomes, allowing wheat to flourish in places it normally couldn't. But if Henry applied himself, who knows where else we could grow IntelliWheat? He may be frustrating, but Henry's the smartest person I've ever met. Just don't tell him that. I can't pretend it wouldn't benefit my family if we develop IntelliWheat. But you're wrong. This is about what's important for everyone. Henry's pet project is tied to market perception. His beer, annoyingly, is really good. But if we could make a bad batch, terrible, really, his margins are tight enough he might be forced to throw in the towel. Henry bores everyone to tears about how crafting beer is so much more art than science. It's delicate. Surely it wouldn't be too hard to mess it up, right? What? Oh God, no. I just want it to taste bad. Like stale, or like it's whatever makes beer taste worse. The next big batch of beer is almost done brewing in our factory. You just need to find a way to break in without getting caught by the guard and tamper with it somehow. Then just wait a day or so and see how the batch goes over at the Stone Root Inn. Do that, and I'll pay you handsomely. That's the last I'll talk of this.
You really going through with it?
I get tired of being ordered around. I want to be my own boss.
But list, that's like walking a tightrope without a safety net.
I come from a line of farmers. Good ones, too. I just need a patch of land, the right lady, and we could make a good life.
And what if a spacer comes along? The Rangers won't help you out of 3-star space.
I've been practicing at the firing range. I can hold my own.
And the crowd goes wild! You can't catch me! Don't listen to my sister. She makes stuff up.
He'd be a lot better if he practiced like
I suppose that is ours now. Eh?
Don't be stupid! Stop! Now!
I feel sorry for Liv. She doesn't have any siblings.
Carrots are coming in nice. Still have some potatoes to harvest.
Looks like it's gonna be a good year. Maybe you should expand. As long as you stay clear of wheat, I can pretty much sell anything you grow.
That's not how the co-op works. We take care of the members first. And sell what we don't need for maintenance.
I'm just saying, you could make this side business your full-time business. I could stake you if money's a concern.
The whole community tends the garden. This isn't the UC, sir.
I just don't get these Freestar people.
Folk in the UC are obsessed with money. Although they kind of are here, too.
I spent significant time here meeting with smugglers. Brings back memories.
We'll go. Just need to find a time. Neon? They're barely a part of the Freestar Collective.
Hello.
Hopetown's not that different from Aquila.
A year or two
Hard
back,
workers,
I shared a drink
everyone
with
making their
Ron
own
Hope.
way.
That man can drink.
But Neon? We'll talk about it later.
Kate, hold up.
So, Henry's new batch. How'd it go over?
I know you like Henry, but...
What? There's something wrong?
Sam said it tasted off. Really off. Gladys said it was fine. Then she dumped her whole glass on the floor when she thought I wasn't looking.
No.
I don't think we should carry Henry's stuff anymore. Our regulars have stopped ordering his old stuff, too.
I'll break the news to Henry.
Hi there. Welcome to the Stone Root Inn.
My mother always said that the secret to happiness is to learn to love where you are. She was a wise woman. There certainly is. My family's owned and operated this place going back generations. Why, the Stone Root's been around so long, it's even older than Midtown, and that's saying something. Aquila City folk value legacy and tradition deeply, and by running this, I get to be part of that. We usually have at least one free. Today's no exception. How long do you need the room? Sure thing, honey.
We got a lot of bars in the city, all class joints. Well, except
Hey, a lot of famous people visit Aquila. Howdy. Popping back a beer,
try and
you
give
never
a
know who
credit
you
or two
meet.
to the Low House when I'm able.
Come on. There are worlds to conquer. Hello. Indeed I do. All yours. You do not need to ask me if you may ask. You may just ask. I enjoy the conversation. All right, then.
Hey, heard you had Dunlop's disease.
What? No, I don't have Dunlop's disease. What is that?
Your belly done lop over your belt.
Asshole. Can't believe he got me again. My friend's a real comedian.
Look at you. Looks like Dunlop's disease is contagious. What? It was a joke. Come on. Dunlop's disease. Look at you. Looks like Dunlop's disease is contagious.
My friend's a real comedian.
You may find yourself tiring abnormally fast. The difference in gravity can be hard to adjust to. What is it? Until next time.
A good business person shouldn't let their personal attachments become an obstacle to success. Weston needs to get his brother focused on food production instead of wasting time brewing beer. If I ran things, we wouldn't have this problem. Something happened to Henry's beer? That's terrible. So terrible. But I'm sure I know nothing about it. Here's some credits for delivering the news. I expect that's the last I'll be seeing of you.
Founder himself once said, "There's no substitute for a warm welcome and a friendly smile." Ah, that'd be Solomon Coe, who stuck a shovel in the ground right here over 160 years ago. That first settlement grew to become the city you see today. And let me tell you, it was no small hardship to make that dream a reality. Yes, indeed, this place has a proud and noble history. Why, for some of us, it's practically hallowed ground. That's why I like to meet each and every person who comes here, to make sure they know what a special place our city is. You're more than welcome. As I'm sure you know, us folk in the Freestar Collective put great stock in human kindness and generosity of spirit. I like to think that's what sets us apart from our neighbors in the United Colonies. We don't rely on machines or bureaucracy. We rely on each other. I won't pry about what brought you here. That's all of your business and none of mine. However, I'd be more than happy to give you the scoop about the core and Midtown. You've got a few choices there. The cantina in the Rock is famed throughout the settled systems for serving the best brew that credits can buy. The hitching post ain't been open long, but most folks seem to like it. If you're looking for a quick drink before moving on, give it a try. Aggie's is a bit of an acquired taste, you might say. Folks who prefer a venue that's a little more rough and tumble tend to feel at home there. Like I said, lots of options. You really are new around here, aren't you? Aquila's every bit as dangerous as it is beautiful. There are creatures out there that pose a mortal danger to anyone caught out in the open. Foremost among them is the Ashtar. They're quick, strong, clever, and damn good hunters. I'd tell you more, but you might not sleep so good. Thankfully, the wall keeps them out. Long as you stay on the right side of it, you've got nothing to worry about. Ah, you must be referring to The Rock. It's home to the largest and oldest cantina in town. That's also where the Council of Governors holds its occasional strategy meetings. As mayor of the city, I have a seat on the council. The Freestar Rangers are headquartered in the upper floors. They've got the best view of the city. I like to think that means they're always keeping an eye on the rest of us. I have to say, I sleep a little easier knowing the Marshal and his Rangers are up there protecting the Freestar Collective. Midtown's where most of the business and trading gets done. It's not as old as the core, because it was built later as the city grew. As the name might suggest, Wallside's the district that runs along the inside of the Great Wall that surrounds the city. It's mostly farmers and other laborers that live down there. They ain't got quite as much space, but it's cheaper, so it all works out. The core is the oldest district and represents the original settlement dating back to the days of Solomon Coe. The descendants of the original settlers still make their home there today. Frank's just the latest owner of the old Hersenove Manor. and he's the worst. Simply the worst. But it's been a problem since the Hasonov family ran out of heirs. There's no wrong the Cartwrights have been trying to right for decades. And hence, well, I need help. He's just another slick, rude, neon corporate hack, full of himself and just awful. I mean, the core is history itself. Cads like him don't belong here. Of course, of course. The last Hassanov was Sahar. Sad tale there. By all accounts, when she lost her last grandchild around 40 years ago, well, it broke her. She packed up and just plain left the estate. Built some farm far from Aquila City and the protection of its walls. It didn't take long before the Ashta overran the farm, and just like that, no more Hassanovs. The Hassanovs were one of the early families that took to making a living in space. Very industrious, mainly miners. They settled planetside in the earliest days of Aquila City. They helped good old Solomon Co. a time or two, but they didn't fare well living in full gravity after a couple of generations in zero-G. Lots of health issues. Eventually a string of just terrible luck left only lonely old Sahar Hassanov. Poor lady. And those that were healthy kept leaving Aquila. The call of the stars. A lot of folks thought the same. So I need someone to go to the old Sahar farm, brave the Ashta, and see if she left a will. I swear I'll honor her wishes. Aquila owes her family that much. And if it happens to kick Mr. Big Shot out of the core, well, that'll be a bonus. Sahar left no heirs, no instructions, so everything the Hassanovs owned was in limbo. What happened to the estate? Well, you'd have to be a lawyer to make heads or tails of it. But eventually it wound up on the open market, so slick neon corporate shills could grace our community. If she named any heir, we could get the estate back where it belongs. See things made right. You are a blessing. Sahar's farm is elsewhere on the planet. If you can't handle Ashta, please just don't go. I don't want this whole sordid story to have more tragedy. Be careful, and look out for yourself.
Landing struts primed. Retro's firing.
Once again, we are triumphant. Come, meet your death.
It would be wise to search the enemy's remains for valuables.
I wish my granddad was still with us. What happened to the Hassanovs never sat right with him. You got it! That's wonderful! But Blake Aldwell... Let me think back. There was a Blake. Might be we can track him or any surviving kin down. I'll get my lawyer on this. Frank Langston's in for a rude surprise. And we can maybe see a Hassanov return back to the core. They helped make the Freestar Collective. If they have living heirs, well, it's more than I could have hoped for. You've more than earned this. You've done the city a great service.
any adventure you can.
Enemy shields are down!